And this is why one of the prophets said, get wisdom. Wisdom is the principal thing. But with all that getting, be sure you get understanding. To understand Farad Muhammad and Elijah Muhammad is not easy for our brothers and sisters in the world of Islam. And for us to say we love these two men, Farad Muhammad and Elijah Muhammad, when the world saw at least Elijah Muhammad, because they didn't know Farad Muhammad, as somebody that was not quite hitting the mark. But they admired his work. They admit Elijah Muhammad was the most successful in transforming the life of so-called American Negroes. And although many Muslims from the East who loved us wanted to bring us Islam, their method never reached us. And in truth, they never could have reached us with their methodology. And wait now, if they could have, they would have. It took a special skill to get to the black man and woman of America in the condition that was imposed upon us by our former slave masters and their children. Special skill. Now you may say, we didn't need what Farad Muhammad brought. We could have just learned of the beauty of our religion by following the Sunnah of the Prophet and the understanding of the Quran as the scholars of Islam have given it. I say with all due respect, I beg to differ with you. And here's my reason. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said, "3 generations after me will no longer be of me." I didn't say it. He said it. If a generation is 20 years and 3 generations is 60 years, then in less than 100 years, even though Islam conquered the known world from the 7th to the 11th century, yet the Prophet said, 3 generations after me will no longer be of me. What does that "of me" mean? I am not an Arabic scholar at all. I really can't read it, and I can't write it. But Allah never raised anybody except that he speaks the language of those to whom he is sent. And so my brothers and sisters don't know Arabic either. But that doesn't mean I'm disqualified in representing Allah, even if I'm ignorant, unlearned in the Arabic language. It means I should learn it. I should learn it. And maybe Allah will bless me one day to learn it. But since you know it and I don't, some of you, then you tell me if my English is not in harmony with your understanding of Arabic. Now, if the Holy Prophet said, and he did say it, 3 generations after me will no longer be of me. That of is a preposition in English that denotes possession, something internal. We will be Muslims on the outside, but we will not be possessed of the spirit of that man to whom Allah revealed Quran. And I say to you, beloved followers of Christianity or Islam or Judaism, to be of Jesus is to be imbued with the spirit out of which Jesus did what he did. To be of Muhammad is to be imbued with the spirit out of which Muhammad accomplished the impossible. He took ignorant Arabs who were divided. He cleansed them by the power of Allah. He transformed their lives. He united them into a nation. And he set them on a course that would ultimately bring them to become the power in the world. But he also knew that something would happen to his beloved community. And 80 days before he passed from among us, he said to his followers, there is no superiority of the white over the black, or the Muslim over the non-Muslim. But the best of you is not the blackest or the whitest or the richest or the wisest. The best of you, he said, is the one most careful of his or her duty to God, the most pious, the most righteous among you. Then he said, if you follow this Quran and my sunnah, my example, the way I lived this book, if you follow that, you will never deviate. You will never deviate. You will never lose the path that I put you on. But the prophet knew that his community would deviate. How did he know this? This book, Quran, says, Shaitan and Allah are having a conversation. And Shaitan, or the enemy of God, or Satan, is saying to God, because you have caused me to remain disappointed and judged me erring, I will lie in wait for them. Them who? Your servants. In Sirat al-Mustaqim, in the straight path, in your straight path, God. I'm going to be right in the straight path. And I'll come to your servants from before them, from behind them, from their left side, from their right side. I'll make all of them deviate. And Allah said to Shaitan, whosoever follows you, I will certainly fill hell with you all. And then in another place he said, you will get all except my purified ones. Now, this is very important because purified ones, this is the past participle of the verb to purify, to cleanse. And it's not that you have the power to cleanse yourself, but it's someone outside of you acting upon you out of love for you that purifies you, that you could be considered his elect. You'll get all except my purified ones. All right, I'm going to move quickly. This book, Quran, woke up sleeping Europe, and it caused a renaissance among the European people. This book, Quran, gave us a new culture. Not Arab culture, not Pakistani culture, not African culture, not Native American culture, but a culture coming from a new knowledge that would unify humanity under one culture, the culture of Islam. The culture that derives from our obedience to this book. The culture that comes from obedience to his sunnah. And we mistake sunnah for beard. We mistake sunnah for the length of a jalabiyah. We mistake sunnah for the way the prophet ate with his hands. We mistake sunnah for things that are very irrelevant, unimportant, and we become like those people in the time of Jesus that strain at a gnat and swallow a camel because we're more concerned about whether my ring is gold or it is silver, because if it is silver, I'm following the prophet. You look past principles that undergird everything that the prophet said and everything that the prophet did. It is these principles that are immutable. He used the mishwak. Today there's a toothbrush. The principle is clean your teeth.